Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, to another scene in Edassa, the Dark Crusade. Tonight, we're back at Gufran's wonderful establishment for all your pillowy and carpety needs. Plus, sheets, silk and wool. I have no idea why we're here, but it is a fine establishment to be there and spend your money and give it to me. I think this is a great idea. Um, Gufran is currently um, talking with his employee uh, about some of the things that he's planning on doing. Maybe expanding a bit doesn't sound, too far away. Yes. Yes. What's everyone else doing?
Burning rugs. I mean,
Acleos is burning the rugs that he bought from Gufran. How wonderful that he spent his money.
no, I'm using Way of Fire 5, which I don't. You have now, congratulations, you have now a volcano inside your shop.
Ah!
Uh, I guess he may have heard about setites and rugs, so he may be going into that general direction in order to witness the rug business.
Madeline, for her part, has just entered and is just browsing for the moment. She hasn't talked with it or hasn't approached any of the employees or Gufran himself, but she's just looking around.
As I was saying, I think we are in need of a bit more the northern quality. You see, I don't mean the around the Constantinople area or something a bit higher, but maybe from the far north. Yes, yes. But the pelts are quite good. Perhaps should look into those. I do agree. Excellent decision.
Now that's a business talk. uh, Ecleos, I guess, will be entering probably because he may think that perhaps the how can I put it, the decrepit and tortured and ruinous style of the Zimisi uh, domain may need a little bit of something else. So yeah, he is indeed looking Mr. Wave Hands. I mean, I don't know. Are you gonna take care of your client? I see how it is. I burn.
Volcano!
Worst customer service ever.
God
Die.
damn it!
I mean, right?
I thought other people were
Maybe
going to enter the scene, but apparently they're not. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
Alright.
I was still waiting for a reply from someone on a question that I just asked, and then I will
Oh,
jump in. So feel free to start.
well,
Alright. So, Gufran, upon seeing his, well, quasi acquaintance, they met once on that
I mean,
mission,
we met once.
a long time ago. We got squashed
Yeah.
together. It was nice. So Gufran will saunter up on Ecleos and basically we can talk about it. We'll saunter up to him. Hello, Ecleos. It's been quite a while. Can I be of assistance to you?
And he turns to Guffrun, because yes, now I can actually read your name. And he looks at him. Ah, Guffrun, it is a pleasure to see you. As he keeps a
Likewise.
complete neutral face, like there's no emotion on his face.
That's just the merchant smiles like, likewise, yes, wonderful. Money.
I would say I wrote peony to see if it's just a merchant smile. That would be tedious and useless.
You can go ahead if you want to do it. Go ahead.
It's okay. I'm not gonna deprive you of your work. And he looks around. So you sell rugs.
I do. I sell rugs, carpets, pillows, sheets, and silk and wool.
Hmm.
All for the price of a few coins.
Hmm. I would be very surprised if it wasn't for coins.
You will hear the voice of Madeline from behind the counter, and she will just, in a fairly low voice, but you can both hear it. You'll just hear, well, Guthram, I do believe that he can accommodate other forms of payment. No. And she just has this wicked smile when she just looks at Guthram.
I mean, that is certainly a possibility, my Lady Madeline. However, coin will do for now. Simple coin makes the gates open. Other payments, well, that just depends on what you want to buy.
It is good to see you again. I hope that the night finds you well. And your friend here is Ecleos. Have we met before? It must have been some time ago. I cannot say that I remember your face too much.
And he remind me, what is Madeline again in Edessa?
Like position wise, or
Position.
she's just an ancilla at this point.
Oh, okay, because I thought I remembered you were in a position, but I'm not
She
sure.
used to be in season 1. She was.
Ah, yes, that's right. And he will. Wow, I am pleased to see that my name has a little bit traveled around this city. It is a pleasure to make a more as he makes a pause trying to find his word, because the Frenchman also trying to find the English word. A more face-to-face meeting.
And why the fuck not? With that, the door will open or whatever. Is there a door or like a cloth or whatever?
The
And
cloth.
yep, then the cloth will be pulled aside and Irene will walk in. And she'll smile broadly when she sees 3 people that she knows. And she'll come forward and she'll curtsy. Such a pleasure to see all of you here.
Hello, Irene.
Likewise, it is good to see you. Please come.
Lady Irene.
Lord Ecleos, it has been so long. Lord Gufran, how do you do? My Lady Irene. Blah, 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 blah. Madeline. Blah, blah, blah. You're so smooth. Of course it wants to fuck up. Blah, 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 blah.
Well then, time to get the cat o' nine tails again. Hold on.
My Lady Madeline. Such a pleasure.
Likewise, I hope that you are well.
I am most excellent. I have never felt better.
Oh, that is very good to hear.
so many wonderful people visiting me tonight. Ah, my joy. It is bountiful.
I actually just dropped by to see how you were doing after our little adventure.
After our adventure? Yes, well, that was an adventure indeed.
Quite spectacular.
Exciting,
Oh.
yes.
Do tell.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, Lady Madeline, first I would like to help Eklios here. After all, he came here to buy something, I believe.
Yes, but it does not change the fact that a good story is always interesting to hear and may distract us while we search for something to satisfy my desire.
Very well
Irene
then.
will put her hand on Ecleos' shoulder. It's like, I am sure that Lord Ecleos specifically would be very interested.
Shall we go to the back? This place, where we are currently, is no place to discuss these matters.
Of course.
And Gufran will lead the sortie out to the door behind the counter, to another room, where there are a lot of the better products are here. There are probably two reasons for this. One is he wants to keep them out of sight so they're not stolen, and two is, impress people that come here. Give me your moolah, haha. There are a couple of chairs here, some plants for decoration, a lot of pillows, some couches where you can lay down, and some Roman-style couches as well. Um, and generally enough to make yourself comfortable. Please, make yourself at home.
Irene would go to one of the Roman couches and would just lay herself down there.
Yeah, Ectios will also sit.
Madeline will find a chair as well, and she'll just look at Ikleos for a moment. And just, oh, I do apologize. My what? I cannot seem to remember your family connection.
I am Eclios Obertus, child of the Mitzi Primogen.
I see. You can, if you want to, you can
Mhm.
roll a perception empathy roll. Oh, that's actually pretty good. I have 3 successes.
Where is yes. Let me get my profile. I believe he's not the most empathic of characters.
I take it we can all roll since you're trying to hide something.
Yes.
Yes, I will need to look up my character sheet as
Oh,
well.
actually, he is quite empathic.
Which dice roll are we using again?
1, 2, something.
2.
Oh wow, he's empathic as fuck.
Yeah, you actually do spot something.
Let me see how empathic I am. Perception. Empathy. I don't have that big a dice pool for it.
I don't have such a big of a dice pool for 10 dice. I mean, it's half of 10 dice.
Mm-hmm. Irene is more interested in laying out her skirt in a way that,
I have 3 successes.
Right.
Yeah.
I will just actually I'll say that both Guthrum and Iklios probably know spot something. Like as soon as you say that, she nods and she's polite and always. But you know when someone smiles with their eyes, you know that feeling. And when they have a wide smile, they also like light up in their eyes. Madeline had that expression on her, but as soon as you say "childer of the Semitzi Primogen," you can tell that her smile is still there, but it's more polite, and her eyes like there's a sudden shift in her eyes, like, and she's it's very very subtle, but it does seem as though she's a little apprehensive when you say that.
Okay.
Aha, aha, family connections. I see.
For whatever reason, she did seem to react to that somewhat.
Hmm. He would not tell anything.
Well, this is the story all about how my life got twisted upside down.
I
Your
mean,
life.
We're a bit away both in geography and time wise from Philly, but oh well. I mean, I suppose isn't it Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Well then, Irene, do you wish to begin or should I?
By all means, go ahead. I'm sure you are quite the better storyteller.
Oh, flattery. Yes. Are the two of you familiar with the member of the La Sombra, Omar Shadid, and a member of my own clan called Hekaib?
mm, I believe, unfortunately, not.
A shame. They are wonderful people.
I am sure.
The both of them organize trips to various ancient tombs to appropriate some of the lost riches that are there and study the history in these places. Irene got asked to join them, and I asked my clanmate Hakaib if I would be able to join as well. I have a vested interest in well, the appropriation of lost goods. And so recently we went on this expedition. Various preparations were made, of course. We were all fully prepared for said trip. Slight eye glance to Irene, and then immediately back to yes, yes, yes. Uh, Sunproof caravans, rope, expedition tools, um, torches to light the way, etc., etc., etc. In any case, um, we rode out, and a fortnight later, we came to our destination. From the outside, it looked like nothing. It looked like a cave to which a boulder had been pushed aside from it. It was probably there to lock the place up, as it were. Oh, very exciting, yes. After we set up camp, we went inside. The place, as it were, wasn't just, well, bland and boring, as the outside would describe it, but was actually a temple. dedicated to the Kanat worship of their gods. Are you familiar with this pantheon?
I cannot say that I
Oh
am.
boy, you're asking another question. Oh
I
boy.
am asking a nice question.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Okay, so as you guys know, I'm doing my thing on the side. Which pantheon were we talking about?
The Kanat,
Oh,
Canaanite.
Canaan. Okay,
Yeah,
I
Kanat.
think this require a roll,
Yes.
and I will look into my amazing knowledge dice pool.
We were asked to roll intelligence academics for this one. So
It makes no difference for me. Okay, so let me roll my dice. I will spend a willpower because it's knowledge.
okay.
I have well made my roll for willpower. For once in his life, he would actually not know something.
Aw.
I have 2 successes.
But I has at least one, thanks
All
to
right.
my glorious willpower.
So the Canaanites, a canon religion, um, refers to a group of ancient Semitic um, religions that were practiced during the uh, early Bronze Age. The regions were somewhere close to Israel, Palestine, Lebanon, Jordan, and Syria, as it were. It was not a monolithic practice. It was made up of multiple gods.
Hmm. Yes, I think I have seen in one of my books a mention of those.
There were many beliefs, and there still are, depending on where you travel.
Yes. In any case, the temple in itself was depicted with various um, paintings, hieroglyphics, statues, various decals, as it were. And I believe this is where we went our separate ways, was it not, Miss Irene, after we encountered the central hall?
Well, at least you and your clanmate decided to suddenly move forward without notifying us you were gone.
Yes, we encountered a hidden door, as it were, and before we could turn back, we were already whoosh past it, and we couldn't turn around.
You were
Quite
trapped?
disturbing.
In a
Were you,
way, yes and no. I made it back. I do not know how Hekai made it back, but well, the story gets strange from here. And Gufran looks at Irene as like,
Well, and she'll just smile. Um, as the two Setites were suddenly gone, we found something else that was quite interesting actually. There was something blinking in, like, not in the room itself, but one of the more demolished parts of the room. You had to go down, and there was something blinking, and there was an eerie feeling in the air. So I went down there. Uh, Omar stayed up to make sure that the the rope would hold. And I found a body lying there. It had a farewell note to it. This man took his own life. And the thing that was blinking was his sword. And, well, I'm afraid that's where my part of the story will end so soon. As I remember picking up the sword, and after that, well, I think we would be better informed by Lord Guthran over here.
Well,
I'll make a check.
yeah.
I'll spend willpower on it. Successes.
What's this, a subterfuge check?
Of course, it's a subterfuge check.
All right. I'm not going to roll it.
No, I don't think you need to roll it.
Rolling, you
Mm.
say?
Yes.
Yes. Pressure. 2 successes, maybe.
It's not
Not
enough.
enough.
No.
Yes, maybe.
Are you going to make a roll, Peter?
Am I gonna make a roll? Well, how, is it just Irene just maybe showing something, or is it a comment to
Yeah.
her? All right, okay, I'll roll. Wow,
Jesus fucking hell!
Jesus Christ.
I see everything.
Jeebus.
You want to have that roll when it really matters, but
Yeah, I know, but oh well.
you know what? I'll just give you something a little extra. Like what Irene says is almost true. It's just that where she stops and says, "I don't know what happened," that is not true. She knows more than she is saying. At the same time, because of that fucking amazing roll, her behavior, the way that she is sitting there, is kind of laying there, spread out on the couch. It's a bit off. It's like she is usually rather shy, and right now she's not showing any of that.
Heresy intensifies.
Mm. Well, after we discovered the passageway, as it were, we discovered a hallway. And in this hallway there were various statues of old warriors, clad in bronze and armor. Various swords as well, all very cheaply made and sad. They weren't great swords, but well, they were still swords. And quite a terrifying sight to behold, honestly. There were all these statues not looking at us, but looking at each other. And throughout the hallway, there was a story being told about a ruler that came back to his to his kingdom and had to fight a great war for his throne once more. Now, of course, this story wasn't there laid out as plainly as possible. It was broken up into various fragments. And at the end of it all, we encountered a door with various holes in it and some forms that could fit in the different holes. And we then realized that it was a puzzle. We had to piece the story together from the broken fragments that we had. And at first, we didn't have the entire story. So, well, we tried some things. We got skewered with giant wooden javelins. That was not the greatest thing that has ever happened to us, but we lived, or unlived, I should say. Eventually, after various tries and tribulations and failings, we managed to unlock the door. And it's still in our bodies. And we stumbled upon the treasure room. Various gems were etched into the walls, gold, silver, jewelry, precious material, all of it. Beautiful, wonderful, gleaming to the eye. I didn't know what I was seeing. But the strange thing was, to Hakai, this seemed was a little less, it seemed, than they would usually encounter. Which blew my mind because, quite frankly, there were a lot of riches. In any case, we were filling our bags with these goods. All of a sudden, I think we must have set something off. For the ground started to cave in on itself. And I got swept up and fell down into a pit. As I wandered for a lengthy period of time, I'm not quite aware how long, I encountered Irene. Though she wasn't entirely there. Do you recall?
I'm afraid that I have barely any recollection of this.
Well, yes, well, it was quite a state. The hallway was completely darkened with dancing lights around us. It was a strange sight to behold. I put Irene's arm over my shoulder and dragged her from there, and I yelled loudly the names of our companions, Hakaib and Omar Shadid, until eventually Omar responded to my voice. And following it, we got ourselves back to relative safely. We had to hack our way through some blockage. And then another trap spring. Do you remember of the warriors, the statue of the warriors that I was talking about? They were chasing us. And so we had to run for our unlives out of this temple.
Guardians? Or perhaps a sort of something that someone like us would have been able to do?
I am not an expert in this field. Akaib did say that it was unusual, not unheard of, but unusual.
It was most certainly something that I've never seen before, although my experience in these kind of matters, of course, is still rather limited.
The same would go for me. This was my very first time on an exciting reclamation of lost history.
If it is unusual, that can be quite a few answers to the question, but interesting.
Well,
Interesting nonetheless.
we obtained gold, gems, and riches. My heart was fulfilled.
Was this near the city? Or you said it was a
It-
fortnight's travel away?
It was. It's about a night and a day's ride away.
Well, the two of you are fortunate to be able to see such wonders for yourself, although it might have been a harrowing experience. Those are the most, well, those are the best teaching moments I
Memorable.
found.
Also the most memorable of times. And to be fair,
So,
when isn't a moment of our precious lives a harrowing moment?
Hmm.
The
It
bit of
is,
nihilism coming from the side. Yes.
in a sense, that is, well, I suppose, a true observation. But we do, well, we do spend quite a bit of time, well, quite inactive, I would say. But you are not completely wrong. So it is good to see that the interconnections between the clans are well and good.
Of course. There's absolutely no reason why they wouldn't be. After all, a divisive city would only weaken its princedom.
Truly, the most of the known world, well, are in open war. This would be the exception to this rule, but our prince is wise.
He most certainly is.
Here, here.
Yes, secret ghosts in this room. The prince is very wise. You can bring a report to your Cappadocian masters.
Well, Madeline, she's not looking at Akrios, but she deliberately skirted around the issue that she wasn't gonna being neutral. She's not gonna poke it at it too much because
Poke stick,
yeah,
poke the bear, poke the bear,
yeah,
poke the
yeah,
bear.
no.
So, does either of you have an interesting story? Something happening? She looks at Aklios and Madeline.
Well, lately, I cannot say that I have. Things have been quite quiet from you, at least.
well, as for exciting things, I have been allowed to go into the Assamite library.
Exciting indeed.
Gufran kind of sets up, just like, as to my library, you say.
And he nods. It is a quite nice library, very well informed with many books. A little bit stressful with the librarian always near you in the shadows, making sure that you do not take a text to go.
Well,
But it is a very good site for someone who has a thirst for knowledge, even if I have yet to access to more interesting parchment.
Tell me, Ekios, how exactly did you manage to get access? I would assume that this would be, well, at least in most cases, reserved for the members of this clan, no?
Hmm. I never said it was the private library of the clan. It
True.
is. It is a library that I guess can be open to those who show interest enough in scriptures and maybe less for mm, political or fighting agendas towards Assamites.
I would very much like to visit this place myself. Do you know of anyone who I could speak to of this?
The person who I had a correspondence with and gained me the honor of accessing it is named Ebony. She is, hmm, I believe she is from their warrior caste.
Hmm. I will have a. I would have to speak with this person.
Hmm. Be sure to give them something in return.
Hmm.
They are very fond of exchanging knowledge for knowledge.
Well, whatever could I give them? She smiles.
I am sure that someone who lived as long as you have must have knowledge that may interest them.
Oh, well, I am, compared to so many, still very young myself. But perhaps.
Hmm. Must admit, I'm quite curious, but I doubt I'd be given access.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yes.
Madeline is going to bite her tongue and not respond to that because she was about to say something, but maybe a suggestion of how you could ask the best way. But yeah, never mind.
Maybe you should switch clans. Like, maybe that works. Yes, I will give up everything and go join the Salubri. Teach me the ways of the healer.
Look, I haven't drawn a third eye on my forehead.
Yeah. Do.
So, two new neonates have been on a expedition into, well, history, maybe ancient history. That is, well, I almost wish that I could have joined you.
There may yet be other opportunities.
Hmm.
Who knows?
Did you find? I, of course, cannot. Uh, well, there was much to see to. I'm quite certain you cannot attest to that, but well, who knows? Maybe in the future we will. uh, Maybe there will come something more of this place. It sounds interesting with these statues.
Well, we are.
We
The last
locked
of it
them
hasn't
in,
been said yet. We will see.
but the place has been locked. We didn't defeat those statues. We locked them in.
A wise thing to do. by the sense of it, you did not have the, well, preparation needed to combat them, overcome them.
No, I don't think we had. I, of course, am only aware of my own combat prowess, and I know that it is extremely limited. I am. I am a lover, not a fighter.
I'm a merchant. Definitely not a fighter.
Hmm.
I fight with this, and he holds up 4 gold coins
Hmm.
and
Well,
puts them back in his pouch.
Even if I
Gufram,
still,
Gufram, I'm quite sure that if you throw them, they will hurt quite a lot.
Yes, but that would be a waste.
I know.
even if I still remember that you may not be a fighter, but that did not stop you from participating. As he looks at Irene,
She looks actually rather surprised. You mean in that one time when all I could do was, well, make it a little darker?
Oh, you can do so much more, my dear. Do not sell yourself short.
Oh, I would never sell myself short. It's just that if I look at the great potential that our clan has, I have only uncovered the first steps. I know how to. It's like I've learned how to write an A, but there's still an entire alphabet left to learn, to study.
I know. But luckily, you do not have to discover it or learn it by yourself.
I'm so very grateful for your help.
Think nothing of it. It is part of why I'm here, to guide those younger than myself and receive guidance from those older than myself.
Well, perhaps. What did come of that? I know it was reported to Lord Ulrich.
Sorry, you
Has
cut
any?
out. You
Oh,
cut out there a bit.
sorry. He said, well, what did come of that? I know it was the situation was reported to Lord Ulrich, but have any of you received any news on the matter?
I cannot say that I have.
No,
on
I've not received word.
okay, OC, which matter?
I
We're
think Max is
The
talking
guard,
about.
the investigation that we did.
yeah. He Ecleos nods. I am on the trail, and
Oh,
when I find
Oh my.
what needs to be found, well, let us say that I have learned my lessons from our first encounter. I have gained the access to Knight Dietrich for this mission.
not I'm not. I believe I'm not familiar with that.
And he he he
I have no idea what
smirks.
you're talking about, Damien.
Yeah, no. Not really.
And he smirks. Let us say that sometime brute force is needed to bend the knee of an enemy. She is a knight of my clan, a very skillful in her art.
I see.
Hmm.
It would be wonderful to have someone with so much skill provide safety and security.
Mm. He nods.
Well,
We
should
shall.
you be in need of any assistance, please do not be afraid to ask.
And
After all, this was a task given to us all.
he nods. I do not forget those who investigated with me on that night. It is no point of making small game for vainglory.
Hmm.
Victory on our enemy and those who breach our rules is what matters.
Of course. Especially when it was a task by Lord Ulrich himself.
Exactly.
We are all more than willing to help out. Isn't that what friends do? She'll smile to Akleos.
I think it's time to show my once again amazing social dice pool. My tremendous and amazing manipulation subterfuge roll of 3 dice.
Oh my!
I am going to roll to check on that. I'm
Yeah, me too.
sus as fuck.
Oh wow, it's a good score.
It is a good score.
But
I mean,
goddamn lady damn.
hey, I will always at least remember that I out many subterfuge 2 Ancillas in the same scene.
And again, I seem to suck at my dice rolls.
It's okay. It's okay. It's it's the rugged orthodox charm.
Must be that.
Yeah. Aha, Max, I have 2 successes. You may not break my shield of
Oh.
poker facing. And yeah, come on, you damn fucking juggernaut.
There's just the one where I botch.
Come on, bring it!
And
I dare you.
Did I just break it?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't see anything currently.
Oh,
Yes,
There we
we have
are.
the first. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Unfortunately, it's the first roll that matters.
Yeah, it's the first one that matters.
Aww.
No, we failed.
Yes, he has learned. He has learned his lesson from a good teacher. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And yeah, he indeed he nods. He nods, seemingly satisfied by a mention of friendship.
Ah, you glorious bastard.
Like, geez, guys, why do you need such a heavy dice ball? Clearly, the superior dice ball is
It's
almost
sweet.
done.
Ah,
Have we? Do we have any news on those infernalists? I remember when we went to investigate on that other matter, my Lord Ulrich, that there was those talks about them, but I'm not sure if many advancements have been made on their affair.
I do not believe there have been updates. Not that I've heard.
No, but I think Lord Ulrich did make it very clear that that was not neonate business.
Exactly.
So I did not inquire.
Mm.
She'll look at Madeline.
Well, direct security of this matter is not something I am directly involved with or privy to, but if it is of interest, of course, I can probably ask Ulrich if there is any new developments, if any of you would like this. I can
Oh,
refer what I can, of course, what I am allowed to refer.
it would be interesting to know, after all. We, as neonates, and we are not strong enough to join in the fights, but we do still live in the city and would still be affected by this threat. It would be nice to be at least a little bit informed.
Well, I must ask, just, oh, how much do you know of this threat? Surely it is not neonate business, but you must have picked up some things. You know, from idle talk, maybe a little too careless idle talk.
Honestly, I can say that I do not know anything more than what was announced, and that it was said that we were not to investigate, or rather, those of lesser age were not allowed to investigate.
Hmm. All right. Just looks over to Irene.
Who
Ever
is
so
sitting there
slightly. Ever
with a
so slightly.
smile on her face? And I'm just gonna roll some dice again.
God damn it, Irene.
Appearance subterfuge this time because she's not really saying anything. It's only 3 successes.
I have 4.
You do have 4. The smile on her face is perhaps a little bit more in the sense of I know more than I'm supposed to know.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Should I? Oh, she's not hiding it?
She is hiding it, but
Wow.
someone had a success more than she had, so that's what you're getting.
Then I will have to roll. Look, it looks like my good rolls are done.
Yes.
I
All
will.
right.
I will not roll because I know things.
I drink and I know things.
Yeah.
Just to exchange a look with Irene.
And her smile grows just a little more wider when he looks at her. A little bit more happy.
Well, I will not overstep my bounds. Ulrich has an official position, and it is, of course, his call. So, I am afraid I will not disclose anything at this time, but if it is your genuine wish that you wish to have more information of this situation, I can ask you.
That would be very kind of you, my Lady Madeline, especially because I remember a conversation a certain Bruja had with Lord Warwick in our presence. She looks at
Oh.
least Guthron. I'm not sure if Eklios was there as well. I don't think he
Oh
was.
dear. Gufran will reach up and pinch the bridge of his nose and shake his head. It's just like that
Where does
motion of disappointment and like sadness almost. Yes.
where does
The
Bruja?
the
She
Bruja who
claimed to be
said he
sent
was a
by you.
spy and then a diplomat and dear, dear. There.
Who was this seat pauses for a noticeable amount of time person?
Oh, what was his name again?
What was his
I
name
believe
again?
he was Spanish.
Hold on, let me check.
Hmm. As Irene will also dig into her memory, aka the scene thread
Yep.
on Facebook.
Yeah, buddy. Let's see. Nope. 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 Nope.
Out of character. Was it Gerard or
No, no,
Wait.
no, it's not Gerard.
Gerard is a adventurer, isn't he?
no? Sorry, Garland.
Garland, that was
Yes.
it. Yes.
Yeah, because that's out of character. What I am guessing.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was him.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you can guess that in character. Okay.
She might, and she'll just say, well, it does sound like a venture I knew quite a long ways back. He said this openly.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds well
And not
colorful.
just once.
Well,
He was a very colorful individual. Very
Yes,
open about.
it was quite unlike anyone I've ever met.
Yeah. It was a strange meeting, all in all.
Gofron gets this gigantic smile on his face. It's like, yes, yes, it was. A most
was his name
inter-
Garland? Something like that.
Yes, actually, milady. Yes, it was.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. For some reason, I was guessing that.
And
This person already owes me a minor boon.
hmm,
Should owe me more, but well, I was kind to him.
well, he threw your name around as one of the individuals that had sent him to Lord Ulrich to get more information about this, well, this individual.
Well, he is the hound of the city, and as much as I regret sending that person in Ulrich's direction, it is better to have him, what shall we call it, speak with a hound than take the precious time of the sheriff.
I believe at that point he was not hound yet.
Yes, he was.
Oh, he was. Oh, wow. Blah. Social fuck up. Hmm. Well, he was at least very open about his affiliations.
Yes, yes, he was. A most entertaining meeting, I must say.
Very much so.
Mm. I do not really know if I can handle too many interesting people at once, but well, we play the hands that we are given. He is he is a pressured man, I suppose. Some of us do act differently when under pressure, but well, I am not the only person he owes.
That does not bode well.
No.
As a knock on the door happens, and so, oh, excuse me, And Gufran will saunter on back to the main part of the shop. After a little bit, he'll return, saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, my profound apologies. However, something has come up that requires my attention. I must vacate my establishment for now. I will return later, but I'm afraid I must leave you."
Oh,
And you trust us with your finest wares?
Well, if something does goes missing, I'll be sure to know where to go.
maybe it's best if we would all part ways.
Hmm.
My Lady Madeline, would you mind? I'm a bit, I'm a bit hungry, and I was hoping if you would like to
Of course, my dear.
accompany me.
Of course. No problem.
Thank you.
Ecleus, if you still wish to buy something, um, my employees will be more than happy to assist you.
And he nod. He nod. Yes, I will. I will. I am sure find exactly what I need. Thank you for
Wonderful.
providing me with someone who will help me choose.
Of course. Now then, I bid you all a most pleasant evening, and I do hope to see you all again.
Likewise.
An honor as always.
And he'll make this grand gesture. Bye. And he'll disappear.
Well, Madeline and Irene will leave together, and not too long after, Madeline will just, while they're walking, she'll just, so, quite a bit of adventure by yourself. I must say, some would be displeased, but you seem to have handled yourself well, and you seem to have made a, well, perhaps friend is a bit too much of a term, but
I do not bear any ill will against Lord Guthrum. Guthrum. Blah, blah, blah.
nor should you. One should
Um,
just always be careful.
mm, of course. And also, I have secured a major boon from it. So all in all, I think the adventure was more than worth it.
Quite so. Well done. But would you mind telling me what you found down there? What you did not, cleverly enough, kept to yourself? But I must ask you, did you see something? Did you find something down there that you did not wish to say in front of the two others?
And she'll bite her lower lip. It's not so much that I would not like to say it, it's just that it's, well, maybe it was that as well. It does feel more like something that belongs to our clan than anything else. But it was also an experience that is difficult to describe, and I do not quite sure know how to put it in words. There's much of it that I'm still trying to understand.
Was this related to your. She looks at her,
No,
pauses.
no, I do not think so. Maybe the beginning, but I I thought I could sense a presence with me. when I was there. And I saw that body. And then when I picked up the swords, it actually grew angry at me. And it broke the rope, so I could not go back up. And later on, the rope swung itself around my neck and dragged me even further down until there was nothing but darkness.
Was this a sensation, or did this happen, as far
This
as you can tell?
happened. This truly happened.
Most interesting. I have been given some thought. This is obviously not of it, but I know of your, well, I think one of the reasons that your sire had you join our illustrious family, the things that you see. I believe that you are, despite what you might think of yourself, you can become quite productive member of our family. I know of quite a few things, but I know of something that I might teach you. But I must ask of your commitment for this. But if I am to understand it correctly, I might be able to teach you something in the future that might be of value to your special, well, ability.
Really, my lady, that is a huge honor, and I would be more than happy to receive your teachings.
There is more involved than simple teaching, but have you heard of the discipline known as hospitals? The sight.
I have heard of some of our kind, if not of our clan, who have increased vision.
So
Well,
for the lulls, and that I will leave you, Irene,
Mm-hmm.
as you walk off, you distinctly hear Eklios' voice. Of course, he's not here, and the voice whisper, "I look forward to our next meeting. Perhaps you may be able to teach me what you promised me once."
And that basically halfway in the conversation with Madeline, the smile on Irene's face kind of broadens a bit more, and there is a twinkle in her eyes just for a slight moment.
I do believe, you see, I have learned this aspects, this sight. I am not very proficient in it, but I do believe that I am within, well, we will find out, but I would be able to teach you this. And as far as I know, it harnesses the senses, and I do believe that this might be able to help you in the future with these, these visions or these sights you gain.
She nods. That would be. I would be forever in your debt.
Well, We will have to work out a agreement, of course, and I would probably have a talk with your sire that she is okay with this. But if you were to better control these visions of the future or the past, well, that will not only help yourself, but it will help all of us.
Yes.
But for now, you must eat. Tell me, do
Yeah.
you require assistance or
No, I just. It has been too long since we've spoken, and I was just greedy enough to want you for myself for a while.
well, there is quite a lot of me to share. She's and well, being greedy about me, I can at least understand why. And she will just, well, well, I believe that we should extend our walk a little.
Do you have a specific place in mind, my lady?
Well, my place is not, well, it is a bit way off, but yeah, I have been busy at the moment. It is, you are right, it has been far too long since we have talked. But I made your boon is I made your boon, and I must really congratulate you on this.
Of course, the boon belongs to Messiah.
It is still valuable.
This is true. I am more than willing to accompany you to your house.
That is good to hear. And unless there is anything else,
No, we can just end it there.
I believe that we will have the scene come to a close.
Yes. And thank you, players, for playing. Those who have left and those who are still here. And this was another scene of Edassa, the Dark Crusade.